Daughter has to go and have a great education, or we say, all right, my wife's got to buy jewelry, or I got to build a house, or I'm going to get a car. But let me tell you this, if we don't care about this stuff, I think none of that is going to matter. And I think is the need of the hour. When I started this journey almost 9-10 years ago, I would say, and none of these conferences were there. None of the people were there. Sitting and understanding, electrification, green energy, and sustainability. I think when I started the journey, coming back from about 30 years from US and Europe, my mother thinks, ये तो पागल हो गया है, इसका दिमाग ठीक नहीं है. He wants to get into a space. इसमें पैसे कैसे बनेंगे, right? And I think, what I do see change. I saw all the, big boys and girls in this business. They said, the market is not ready, and I think today when we go here and I see the list of participants here, everyone knows this is the game. I mean, in India, it's a little bit like this. I grew up in Haryana, and that javelin thrower guy, nobody knew about him. And today, everybody thinks he's a rock star. So India, we like to chase dreams. And when somebody gets successful, then we all follow. I don't even know if PM Modi ji knew him, but ab to sabhi uske saath ghumte hain. So I think really this is a very, very important subject. I'm going to quickly drive through this. I know time's of the essence. Design and development of commercial electric vehicles for the emerging markets. Look, I really am focusing very, very heavily on commercial vehicles because, 40 to 50% of pollution comes from commercial vehicles. We, if you see major cities, whether it's Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, I think there is some serious issues of pollution. But I do think if we really are going to make a difference, we got to lift the Sawa crore bhai behan. I don't want somebody in Mumbai and somebody in Gujarat just own this country. We got to lift everyone up. I think if we really want to be, a 5 trillion economy, we want to be, the third largest economy in the world, we've got to lift those people. I think it's a very, very important part. Design and development of commercial vehicles takes a really, we have the people, we have the technology, we have everything. I don't want, Sundar Pichais or Satya Nadella is going to the United States and building companies. I want all of you, all men and women, especially women, 48% of our population is women. We've got to use this Nari Shakti to our advantage. I think that, we've got to be able to build these companies. The environment is here to be able to build, some serious, companies in this country. If you really look at emerging markets in EV, obviously China has been leading this charge. I think, to say, we all want to be bold and we want to say we're going to beat China, I think it's going to take some time. Let's be realistic. They have had a lead. They have had a serious amount of thought process. I'm an old commodity. I was a big hedge fund manager in my younger days. They not only just control the production, they control actually the commodity. And having control of the commodity is extremely important. I think India, I speak at a lot of events because green energy and sustainability is important to me. India has got a chance to really be a world leader in green energy and sustainability. You are seeing serious amount of work going on in India in this space. And what I'm really, really proud of is to say, I'm apolitical, but you see every, central government is really pushing it, but the state government, I would like, unfortunately, and I always speak my mind, and so that's why maybe some people will not like me, but the state of Maharashtra has been behind on this. If you look at Delhi, you look at Punjab, you look at Tamil Nadu, you look at all across this country, I think we have really, really not got a clear policy on EVs. There's a lot of talk, but there's not much walk on this. And I think I would request the government agencies to really, really take this seriously. We want to make it Maharashtra. We want to build. Omega has many facilities in this state. We are building. We put up a 3-wheeler factory here also in Chakan, and I think we're going to do more here. But I think the state needs to really, really focus on this. And I think this is something that's very much to be raised at the higher level. Look, I'm not talking and beating states up, but I think the proof is in the pudding. There's not much policy. There's not much work in this space here. Europe, look, Europe is absolutely going green. I think the whole, European continent is seriously working on EV. I know a lot of you work with a lot of European companies, and I think everybody in Europe is definitely going to move. And I'm not just talking about, EVs. I'm talking about hydrogen. I'm talking about other technologies. And I think the world is coming. We are just sending our vehicles. I have an R&D center in France. We are going to be working on putting on the trucks, hydrogen, which will do about 1,000 kilometers. I think the biggest problem and every concern of all of you is range anxiety. I think that's something that, but I think in the 3 and the 2, we have solved it. And I think in the 4-wheelers, a lot of work is going on. I think movement on the passenger side will take some time. I think, the Japanese are talking about hybrid. I think anything that makes this country cleaner and greener for the future generations, for the future, I see young men and women here, for them, we owe it to them. We owe them to build this country and this nation to be much more greener. Southeast Asia, Latin America, Middle East, we've been doing a lot of work in the Middle East. There's a lot of activity there. We've been working in the Kingdom of Saudi. There's a new city called Nome being built. I don't know if you've heard about it, but there's some serious work in those kingdoms. Africa is lagging behind a little bit. I think most of the products in Africa are really coming from China, and they just kit it up. I think where we also have an advantage is we have the capabilities, we have the people, we have the technology to make in this country. And design and technology, artificial intelligence, IoT, we've got such great young men and women in this country. And I think some of us old people can also add value to this in terms of our experience. And I think we can build a great ecosystem in this country. Factors that influence the demand for electric cars, electric EVs. Infrastructure. This is something that is of the need of the hour. Infrastructure is something that is absolutely needed. We need to have charging infrastructure. We need to have the ecosystem. One thing that I completely focus on is to build, the ecosystem, not just the EVs, but the charging infrastructure, the backward integration of batteries, motors, powertrains. And what's exciting to know is that so many of the big companies, the medium-term companies, everyone is part of this. And I'll tell you one thing, please align forces with companies. This is not just, I'm into fitness and I run marathons. The Kenyans run the first 20 kilometers together. And the last 6, abhi to hum 500 meter mein bhi nahi hai. So we can all run together, we can work together, we can build together. Government regulations and incentives, I think there is a lot of work being done. FAME 3 is coming, and I think there will be even a bigger allotment. Some people have been a bit naughty. I think we all know about this. I feel like these days, just like cricket, everybody has a view on FAME policy, but I think we need to have a very, very standardized, all of you that are building businesses, you need a really focused and a really standard government. If you look at Europe, or you look at China, or you look at, Uncle Joe Biden is just writing checks left, right, and center. But we seem to have a policy which is going like this. मेरा एक कहना है, if one person or two person blows the red light, doesn't mean कि हम सभी खराब हैं. And I think the government needs to look beyond that, because business is investing for 10 to 20 years. And so this is something very important. Total cost of ownership. In India, I have never ever been in a country where pricing sensitivity, अगर इंडिया में कुछ चला दिया तो I think everything in the world will work. I think we all talk about green energy and sustainability, but once we get out of here, अगर मेरी जेब का पैसा नहीं बचेगा तो you don't care about green energy and sustainability. So I think the TCO model needs to work. I'm saying some very, very bold statements, but मैं reality ही बात करूँगा, because I think that's the only way we can change this country. I think in the 3 and the 2-wheelers, the story is there. In the 4-wheelers, it's going to come. But I think the TCO model, I'll give you an example. I run one of the larger e-logistic companies also in this country. And we talk to all the big companies. हमने अपना, we need to make sure we are carbon neutral. सब CSR एक्टिविटी में करवा लेते हैं टेस्टिंग, उसके बाद कहते हैं सर मेरा आइस इंजन का खर्चा ये है, इससे नीचे होना चाहिए. So nobody really cares on, so but the TCO model in India is extremely important. So we can't compare ourselves, to Europe, where the government subsidies in the United States and Europe are very high. Even in China, it's a huge amount of subsidy. I don't think in India building businesses on subsidies is a good business. We've got to be stronger, and we've got to build that where without subsidy this country can run. Battery technology and range. I think, we worked over the years. I work with, fixed, fast charging, swap. I work with LTO, aluminum air, zinc air, LFP, every technology I've been part of. And I think battery technology is coming faster. You will see the day where 1,000 kilometers on a single charge is there. But in India, the problem is the solutions are there, but it's the payment of, nobody will pay. So I think you've got to be able to build charging infrastructures where the battery cost is lower. And ek aur baat hai, up to now, cells are all coming, unfortunately, from China or from Korea, but mostly from China. Every big company in this country is bringing all the cells from China. I think cell manufacturing has to be focused on, and not just, एक PLI scheme बना दी, उसको दे दिया, इसको दे दिया. इसके लिए experience चाहिए. Battery cell technology cannot be made by any Tom, Dick and Harry. बहुत time लगता है. I've known the guys at CATL. I've known the guys at Tesla over the years. बहुत time लगता है. I think we need to start working now because the battery demand is going up the roof. This is a business that I recommend people look at, and I think, get that knowledge, experience, and build in India. Industry partnerships and support. I will tell you again and again, this is a alliance-based industry. This is not, Bajaj or Mahindra or Piaggio or Tata fighting against each other. We've all got to work together. The market in this country is big enough. I've stopped spending time in Europe and the United States. Sab budde hain, boring. Koi kuch, there is no level of, but what we got in this country is an opportunity where I believe China was 1999. Listen, guys, I got no intention of being into politics. I was sitting in my home in Switzerland. I'm Swiss, and I thought I got to make a difference in India. I will say the opportunity here are endless. I don't know why people need to go to Canada or United States or Europe. They can build companies here. The money, the opportunity, the challenges are here, but I think I want all young people to start building here. Operational efficiency and productivity. Business considers operational efficiency and productivity benefits of EVs when evaluating their demand. Electric vehicles offer definitely advantages. It's a quieter operation, it's instant torque, regenerative braking, and can improve driver experience. But clearly, safety needs to be. See, I think हमारे as OEMs आज की डेट में मैं देखता हूँ हर रोज some new OEM comes. Sir, गाड़ियाँ बनाना और बेचना और safety, because that person on that vehicle could be your mother, could be my sister, could be anybody. And I think one life lost is too many. And to blame Indian drivers or we run a logistics company. That person that's driving that vehicle is making 20,000 rupees a month. You think he cares about, the environment, or do you think he cares? He needs a vehicle that gets point A to B and can give him that maximum. So I think operational efficiency is extremely important. Environmental and sustainability, we talked about it. Consumer demand and brand image. I think this is something that's extremely important. I think, we've got to, I see this Shark Tank world. I used to be a hedge fund manager. I think round A, B, C, D ki mat socho, thoda long term ki socho. I tell a lot of these young men and women today that build businesses for a long 20, 30, 40 year. Then only will you be successful. I love what Ashnil Grover does for himself, but I would like more people to do what they can for the country rather than for themselves. I think I have nothing against him, be a YouTuber, be a influencer, but make products that work and actually help the economy, right? That's most important. Obviously, we worked on trucks, 3.5 ton trucks, 1 ton truck, commercial electric vehicles. Infrastructure development is extremely important. We are continually working on, I think on trucks, there is a serious amount of work that needs to be done in terms of range, in terms of carrying capacity. See, the problem we find in India is, हम कहते हैं, in the 1 ton truck, 1.5 टन ले जाना, उसमें 3 टन डाल देते हैं. I'll give you an example. We build an electric vehicle which should carry 1 in the front and 3 in the back. मैं सोनीपत में जाता हूँ, I go to Gujarat, 16 people on it. I mean, you know, then people say range नहीं मिल रही, इसकी capability में problem है. So I think, you know, you've got to build products in India which are capable of understanding the need of the consumers. And the consumers are not going to change. So you've got to build. But one thing is really exciting. You build anything here, it'll work everywhere in the rest of the world. You know, key considerations to design and manufacturing. How am I running? Am I over time? I'll rush if you want, yeah? The market research involves studying emerging market infrastructure, road conditions, understanding specific demands and preference. I think this is something that's very important. Robust and durable design. I think design. You know, I think reliability, ease of maintenance, simplicity in design, usage of robust materials. I think there is a lot of work that needs to be done. I think if you hear the complaints, people will say electric vehicles are sort of not stable. I think that's changing in very much. I think all that stuff that was coming from China, I think the game's over on that. Customization, adaptability, flexibility in design, adaptability of various applications and customizations, and modular design caters to diverse customers' needs and increased market acceptance. We are seeing every day. I don't think on electric vehicles there's at all a demand issue. It's making sure the supply, the quality, and the service, but also making sure those drivers understand. You know, I spend a lot of time in the front lines. 3 weeks ago मैं बिहार में था, तो जो हमारी रात को गाड़ी चार्जिंग हो रही थी, वो तार ऊपर से वो एक लाइन से चोरी करके चार्जिंग कर रहे. See, those things should not happen, right? And making sure that drivers understand how to use these vehicles, extremely important. Cost optimization, extremely important. I mean, designing commercial vehicles with focus of cost optimization and making sure that, you know, maintenance procedures can help achieve cost efficiency. It's extremely important. You know, fuel efficiency and environmental considerations, I've talked enough about it. You know, safety and driver comfort. We built trucks right from day one, which had air conditioning in them. I know Honorable Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari ji has made it a rule. We made sure there was a comfort of driving. You know, I recommend all of you guys come and have a look at some of our trucks that are testing in Leh, in Rajasthan, all across this country and globe. And we've done a lot of work in this space. Local collaboration and support, you know, establishing in partnerships with local manufacturers, suppliers, service networks can strengthen productive distribution. And after-sales support in this is extremely important. By addressing these considerations, I would definitely tell you that commercial EVs meet the demand of emerging markets, not only for India, but in Latin America, Africa, ASEAN. There's a huge market. Manufacturing 4.0, yes, industrial Internet of Things, and big data analytics. Look, guys, this can go on. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them on the sidelines. Thank you so much.